you guys with a different story, a story about one of the pastors that now I believe that is a true man of God that we only have in Kenya, and is the only true pastor that we have in Kenya. Despite the fact that some of the bishops who are calling themselves holy bishops, pastors who've been calling themselves holy pastors, and slowly rising men of God who have been calling themselves holy men of God. Despite all these people like trying to shoot their shots towards Pastor Nganga, calling him names, abusing him, fighting him, trying to trash him, but he stands all their abuses, he stands all their shots, he stands all their rocks, like everything that they tried to do, and still emerges the winner. All these scenarios, and even the leaders, some politicians who have been trying to shoot some shots to Pastor Nganga, direct to Pastor Nganga, and he wins and stands still until today. Like, all these scenarios have made me believe that Pastor Nganga is a true man of God. Pastor Nganga is the only true worshipper of God that we have in Kenya. And I believe that the congregation that Pastor Nganga is leading, the reason as to why they have been clinging on Pastor Nganga, despite what people sees as abuses, the reason as to why these people have been standing with Pastor Nganga is because they know what is in Pastor Nganga. They see what is in Pastor Nganga. They don't just see what you people are seeing as abuses. They see him as a real father, as a real pastor. Just the way your father can get tired with you, or even may try to do something to you, or you may do something that your father feels like is stupid and he calls you a certain name, is the same thing that Pastor Nganga has been doing. And that is not abusing somebody. When you call me a dog, it means that at that moment, maybe you've noticed that I'm behaving like one. And that is why you've decided to call me what? A dog. When you call me mjinga, it doesn't mean that me ni mjinga. At that moment, you've seen me behaving like that one mjinga. And that is why you decided to call me mjinga. So, let's go back a little bit and check the things that Pastor Nganga did what prophesied, and they have happened. They are now coming. They are now turning to be real. Let's check when Mike Sonko picked a fight with Pastor Nganga, and Pastor Nganga told him that, just at the pulpit, he told him that, you know what, umecheza na komanda na chuma chako kiko motoni. Wewe ngoja tu. Wewe umekuja na askari, umekuja na nguvu, hata nilikuomba Uhuru Park na ukaninyima. For those who don't understand Swahili, Pastor Nganga was telling Mike Sonko, who is the former governor of Nairobi, that you've come with police force, you've come with the tools of power. I also tried to talk to you about my crusade, which I wanted to hold at Uhuru Park, and you denied me because you were in power. You used your power to try and block me from anything that I was trying to do. But you've come with the tools of power and with the power that you have. But me, I'm sending you my what? My angels from God. And believe you me, what happened to Sonko moments later or sometimes later is totally unbelievable. He was fired. Like, Sonko started receiving shots from left, right, and center from all leaders. All leaders were fighting him. All leaders were trying to trash him. All leaders were calling him names the way he was not doing his job as a true leader, the way he was, like he was trying to lead the city in an unlearned manner, the way he didn't have papers, until the end of it ended that Sonko was removed, was impeached, and sent back home. That is first thing that happened, and Pastor Nganga had already spoke about it. Another thing, when Beatrice Elachi was talking about people, no, let's start with King Kaka. King Kaka did a song, and within his song, somewhere there, he mentioned Pastor Nganga. He called Pastor Nganga and said, ati hata afadhali venye Pastor Nganga na wadanganya na ukweli. And Pastor Nganga was mad at that, and he called him, wewe can Kaka, can King Kaka. Like, he could not even mention the name of King Kaka very well. But what he said is that, wewe nenda ukacheze na rika zako. Wewe nenda utafutane na watu wa matatu. Man, after few months, King Kaka became sick, so unconscious. He grew very thin. He could not perform, he could not sing, he could not do his things. I believe maybe he called Pastor Nganga and asked for forgiveness. That is the spirit of Luos. Okay, notice you've wronged somebody somewhere, you just go back and ask for forgiveness. So, the same thing has been happening, like happened to Beatrice Elachi. What happened to Elachi the other day? Sometimes back, Beatrice Elachi spoke so bad when Gen Zs were being killed, and those people who were trying to oppose the government were being pushed aside. Elachi spoke very bad na akasema, like, whoever feels like Kenya is not good enough for him or her, they are free to move. They can move to another country which they are feeling like is better for them. Ama has a very nice space for them to live, criticize, and do whatever they feel like is okay with them. Again, the same Pastor Nganga came out and condemned what Beatrice Elachi said strongly. And he said this, ngojeni, hao watu wote wanajaribu kuongea vibaya kuhusu watoto wa watu na kuua watoto wa watu na kufanya 1 2 3. Kuna watu wakubwa wako karibu kuanza kuluzu watoto wao. Watoto wao wako karibu kuanza kufariki. And you know what? Like, the same thing that Pastor Nganga said sometimes back is now turning to be true. We saw Beatrice Elachi the other day losing his son. And you know what? This is the same woman who had trashed Gen Zs when they were being killed, spoke bad about them, and told them that if you're feeling like the leader we have is not the best leader for you, the country we have is not the best country for you, you're free to move to another country. He was trying to tell Kenyans to move while Kenyans were trying to criticize government. And you know what? Man, people are very happy to hear that Beatrice Elachi, who was celebrating when Gen Zs were being killed, lost his son. In fact, his beloved son. Imagine you're giving birth, you're feeding your child, you treat him well, you grow him, he finishes everything, he goes to school until university level. He acquires degrees, then what happens later? He dies. And these are the punishments. Like, you see all these things, Pastor Nganga has been prophesying them one by one. And they're coming to term. They're turning to be real. There's something that has been trying also to happen to Pastor Nganga. Like, so many times, government has been trying to, snatch him, his land that he bought legally. He has papers even now. He knows everything bit by bit from the way he bought land or from the day he bought the land. And the government was trying to play a game and just at least for them to take away the land from Pasanganga, because the land was at a rich area and within the town. So I think the government was trying to play a game on how to steal the land from Pastanganga. But you know what? This man is strong. This is a true man of God. He gave them, he tabled the paper. He supplied them with everything that they needed to know about that land from the day it was purchased and the time and the hour and who gave out what paper. Which paper. Pastor Nganga tabled everything, and these leaders were surprised. They tried several times coming back. They tried to go and restructure themselves and do a comeback, but still, Pastor Nganga was giving them the same informations that he had supplied them before, without even missing a point. So they were like, man, so it's true that this person got this land legally. That is how true men of God are. So I think the pastors and bishops who have been calling themselves true bishops and true pastors in Kenya are supposed to join hands with Pastor Nganga and become one thing. And become what? One thing, one nation, one church to worship God. And then Pastor Nganga should be the president of pastors, because this man is on another level. He has stood the test of time, and until today he is very strong. And you know, some people are seeing like the terms Pastor Nganga has been using, like matiti, umbwa, mjinga, mama zenyu, nini, as bad language. But me, I don't see anything bad with that, because even if you call me mamako na mimi sija, like my mom is there and she's doing her things, like nothing bad has happened to her. She's strong, she's moving. If you call me mjinga and I know that I'm not mjinga, then I don't even need to be focusing with what you've said, because me personally, I know that mimi si mjinga. Guys, it's high time even the leaders that we have waanze ku respect Pastor Nganga. And there's another thing, like the same thing. Unajua there's some leaders who are cautioned about talking bad about Raila and abusing Raila. And Pastor Nganga also said something about that. And he asked them, jiulizeni ni kwa nini leaders, they rise and fall. Most of the leaders rise and fall at a younger age. They don't even attain the age of 50. They die, they disappear. 60, they die, they disappear. But God has been keeping this old man that some people have been trashing and abusing and talking bad about, calling him uncircumcised. But God has kept him alive until today. Strong, alive, and moving, doing his things. But some people are outside there yapping and abusing. You know, Pastor Nganga asked them a question. Ask yourself, why is it that we have young leaders who are rising and falling, rising and dying and disappearing, and people are forgetting them? But God has managed to keep who? Raila Amolo Odinga. Because of what? God can keep you if he has something in you that he wants to work with. If he has something in you that he wants to prove to people that he works differently. He wants to prove to people that there's something that is in you that is different from the people that they have been supporting. And Pastor Nganga ended up went ahead and told people that please learn to respect the old. Look at people like Ababu na Mwamba. Look at people like let's go back a little bit. Uhuru Kenyatta, like Moi Kibaki, like President Moi himself, worked with Raila. He tried to kill Raila, but God saved him. Uhuru Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki worked with Raila. Uhuru Kenyatta worked with Raila. Somebody like Ruto, William Ruto, mentioned, like, called Raila all sorts of names that someone can be called when you hate them. He called Raila all sorts of names with the DP Gachagua by then. DP also tried Raila and said all sorts of things that he wanted to say about Raila, and even said how he's put the snares around that Raila could not even pass and enter where? State House. But the first sign that showed us that Raila is a very prominent person and is recognized worldwide is when Prince Charles came to Kenya. Gachagua was sent to the US, and Prince Charles came to Kenya in State House, and Raila was called where? There. And there, that is when the deals started unraveling one by one. They signed so many deals. So that was the first and the beginning of the downfall of Gachagua. And where is Gachagua today? Gachagua ako Kenya huko tu anarandaranda mtaani akijaribu kukampeni, akijaribu like now Gachagua's work has been trying to bring together leaders who are speechless, who are noisemakers, who don't have policies to sell, who don't have agendas. Even when you go to parliament, they don't have anything like to offer Kenyans. These are leaders who cannot even stand and speak for Kenyans. They are yapping around, they are making noise, and when things are hard, they cannot even stand. And where is Raila? Raila is eating with big spoon. The government. He is eating with the government. He's eating in State House. He's sleeping next to, like he's driving governments, like he's doing everything. He has tight security that you cannot even reach him. Man, that is how God works. So, if you see how Raila has been working with leaders from generation to generation, generation to generation, generation to generation until now, these leaders are rising, finishing their terms, go, and they're forgotten. Raila remains there. Another one comes in, Raila works with him, he goes and leaves Raila at the same place. Another one comes, he picks Raila again. This is enough to show you guys that Raila has something that all these leaders wants to work with that they don't have. And that is the same thing that now even Ruto has done to ensure that he picks Raila to come and help him. To do what? And they said a lot of things about him. But Raila, being a leader who has a heart, a leader who is being guided by God, and God's spirit is in him, decided to put every difference aside and agreed to assist them to perpetuate the goodness of our country. And that is what is happening. That is the spirit that all our leaders should be having and embracing, like, every day. So please, let's join hands together and clap for our two persons that I've spoken about today, that I've talked about today, Pastor Nganga and Raila. Raila, I think even Raila should be called a prophet Raila. Prophet Raila. Raila is a prophet. You remember what Naman Manyora said the other day, that you cannot fight with Raila. If you fight with Raila, you will end up in ditch. Like all the leaders who have been trying to trash Raila, today they are not living. They are not surviving the politics that we have. They are down, they are everywhere. Man, Gen Zs have abused leaders, they have done all sorts of nonsense, they have put even president in coffin, but Raila is surviving the kicks of Gen Zs because of the respect they have for the old. So please, Pastor Nganga, kudos. My name is DOLA. When I come back to Kenya, I know that I'll come and say hi, just to greet you, Commander, for the good job Good job, Pastor Nganga, and may God keep you. I know that you are one of the best remaining men of God that we have in Kenya. And you know what? I'm praying for you. May God keep you. And thank you so much, because the things that you've been prophesying today, they are coming to pass. And may God keep you. May God keep you. May God give you the grace to keep speaking the truth and standing by your words, no matter the criticisms that comes from left, right, and center. You stand by your words. May God be with you. May God keep you. And in Jesus' name, I pray for you. Ama ni aje wasi? Tupatane kwa hiyo life next. Asanteni bros.